I Can't Escape Darkness is about a psychological horror where the player gets caught in this maze, and your job is to pretty much escape the maze as best as you can without getting too distracted from other things that are happening in the environment. I would say it doesn't compare to other horror games because it's not really a horror type of game. It's really like an eerie, suspenseful, psychological experience game. Whereas you're supposed to try to escape this maze, but there are other distractions to kind of deter you from that. There is a mystery, there's ambiguity in the game, and you do have to solve puzzles and things like that to help yourself escape. But there's a lot of lore behind, the game as well. It's not just like the first one and I Can Escape, whereas you were just trying to escape and there was nothing else really to that. Yeah, I was highly inspired by the first Tomb Raider from Nathan McCree's score back in 96, 95, in that era. And I was also inspired by Thief with Eric Brosius' score. And I was inspired by Jason Graves' score a little bit with Dead Space based off of the fear mechanics that went along with that. And a couple other scores, one of them being Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 1. So I was very inspired by those games, and what I did was I tried to take all of those elements and put everything into the I Can't Escape Darkness feeling and make sure that that world was completely immersed and unique for that game. So my process specifically for this project was I would gather all my sound equipment. I used a Zoom H4n, and I had a condenser mic that I also use as well. And I would use the phantom power from the H4n and plug it into the condenser mic. And then I would place it into the Foley stage, and then I would have the different objects that I was using. So for example, let's just, for the sake of our conversation, we can use the wall moving. And so I bought two bricks from Home Depot, and I moved those the bricks together on a concrete slab within the Foley stage, and I actually have it moving extremely slowly, and then I move it really fast. And so when I finish recording, I take them out. I take the sounds back to the computer, I edit them, and I can either slow them down, speed them up, layer them based off of how many iterations and times that I actually did the recording for the stones moving on the slabs. Well, we're out here in the Moore Park Trails, and I'm recording sound effects for I Can't Escape Darkness, specifically the cave sound effects. So I have a bat, which is going to mimic the pickaxe, and I have the sword, which is I'm also going to kind of layer with the bat as well, to give it a little bit more tingy effect when you're hitting on the cave walls. I actually have some rocks, and I'll be showing you those, some actual stones, and I will have a bottle that you have in the game that when you hit on the cave wall, you hear that sound as well. And then I have the infamous flashlight, and I actually do have one that kind of mimics the art illustration of the game as well. So right now we're recording all those sounds, and we're going to have some fun, and let's see what we get.
How did I meet Chase? I met him at junior college in 2009. We were taking a music technology class together. And we kind of just clicked. We kind of felt like we had the same energy going on. And we always had that connection in class where we felt like we were the same person. Even though we never met each other before, we had the same interests, the same energy, the same musical styles, or same interest in composers. And he's more like a brother to me than a friend. Chase's music fits the game great. Music for media in general usually is there to enhance the experience of what you're watching or playing. So whether it's a film and or a game, it's supposed to help. And if I'm sitting there and I'm playing a game or I'm watching a movie and the music sticks out to me in an uncomfortable way, then it's not helping and enhancing the media. And Chase's music, it fits very well. Chase is always dedicated, and no matter every aspect. He's a devoted friend, and he is dedicated to all of his relationships personally, professionally, and even the relationship that he has with music.
I feel that the sound is really aleatoric. I actually designed the music to mimic the game through the layers that the player descends through. And so having it be as interactive as I could possibly make it so that it's not annoying or it's not, it doesn't distract the player. And so with that, I arranged the music in that certain way, and then I built the custom sound effects either from a synth or from actually just recording it myself within that stage. I didn't have to like make it sound like it completely old and using MIDI instruments all the time, but I do enjoy retro games, and I felt like those would fit right into the pocket just based off of like the music that was created by those composers for those games that inspired me to kind of say, hey, what if I took this and that and this and make it a big melting pot, and what would I get out of it here? And that's really where I came with the inspiration from it. I do feel that the implementation was a success. I played quite a few games, one of them being The Evil Within, and studying how the implementation worked with that game and tried to mimic and see like what was annoying. I put myself in the seat of the player to figure out, hey, is the player going to recognize that this is only X amount of times hit, or do these sound funny or things like that? And with doing 271 or plus, there's 271 assets for the game, plus like the variations. I made sure that everything was like immaculate as I could possibly make it. I don't know if it'll be a trilogy or not. We'll have to see. So I guess you have to escape to find out.